Where's Hambini? Someone give Hambini a ring. Nice one, Redster. Well, Sasu, man, the FTP test, man, it's... One more, yeah. Oh, yeah, we've got 25 now. FTP tests, I reckon, they're not a necessity. They're good to do in a sort of, you know, because it's relatively a controlled environment. But if you ride with your power meter for long enough, you can work it out from just what you've been doing. Especially if you do a load of climbing up some steep climbs, you can basically work it out. You don't need to necessarily do one. Obviously, if you want to go and do one, cool. And they are good to do, of course, because you know where you're at. But oh, Philip, how's it going, mate? Oh, you got it. Oh, you got that stuff, did you? Nice one, nice one. That fuck me, man. That Wacos brake protecting stuff that I've been sending to people. I've sent 100. In fact, Philip, you were number 101. I've sent 100 of them. The fucking post office reckons, like, because the post office in Japan, they're just like paranoid freaks, right? And the really shit service. Cocks out. All right, seven, mate. How's it going? Yeah. They're fucking paranoid freaks, right? So every time you go down there, if you look slightly not like a native, they start quizzing you about the contents of the package. First time I tried to send one of these brake protecting things. Now, sending that brake protecting stuff is totally within the confines of the law, because it's not oil based; it's synthetic, right? So if you send something that's oil based through the post, that has restrictions, but synthetic materials are not restricted. So I just said to the dickhead working there when I first tried it. He said, "What's in the box?" Because you have to sign it on the EMS form. I said, "Oh, it's some bike grease." He fucking flipped out and refused to send it for me. So I told him he was a cunt, walked out the shop, walked round the corner to a different post office and just said, "It's some tools." And they just went, "All right," sent it. Now, that all they do in the post office here is they just forward it on to the shipping company, right? So the shipping company got it. I've got the tracking thing, so I just watched it go to Narita Airport. It went through Narita Airport, no problem, right? All right, Ian, how's it going, mate? Yeah, I'm all right, mate, yeah. Getting slowly better. It got to the fucking Narita Airport, went through there, no problem. So the official guys had no problem with it. Got to the other end, well, I think it was in America, I think it was the first one I sent. Went through American customs fine, and I've literally never had any problems with it at all. So the only issue with sending this stuff is getting it past the dickheads in the post office here. It's fucking ridiculous. They're just knobs. I think they're so bored. They just like passively, aggressively causing problems for people, and trying to pass off their passive aggression as protocol, because they're just fucking dickheads. Yeah. So yeah, Castelli is definitely nice. Oh, you got a Castelli, have you? Yeah. All right. Wow, 31 people. All right. So first thing we're gonna do is, what are we doing? What have I told myself I'm gonna do? Oh yeah, talk about my ongoing injuries, plural. All right. So can you all see that spine on the screen? All right. Can you all see that spine on the screen at the moment? Philip, I'll upload stuff when I get around to it, mate. Uploading a live stream is actually quite a lot of work, but yeah, at some point. Can you all see that? All right, Lane, you can all see it, right? Okay, so I'm going to talk you through my first injury that led to all the other mad shit. All right, so you can know what's going on, and maybe this will be, warning for you all. All right, so can you see my mouse on the screen? Yeah, you see my mouse on the screen. Let me know if you can see my mouse on the screen. If my mouse is picking up on this broadcasting software. Fucking hell, I've got a neck ache. Let me know if you can see the mouse, everyone. You can see it, right? All right, cool. Right, now what you can see here is the human skull and the spine bones in the neck. All right, so that my mouse there at the moment is where my finger is at the moment, right? That's the bottom of the skull. Yeah. All right. Next one down, that is your C1, I think. That's your C1 vertebrae. Yep. Then it goes C2, C3. Hang on a minute. C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, C8, I think. Unless C7 is the last one. Whatever. All right. Pretty much a year ago to the day, I was riding my bike down the road behind a car. There was nobody in front of the car. There was no roads turning off of the road. It's a straight road. There was nothing in the road in front of the car. The driver just slammed their fucking brakes on for no fucking reason at all. No reason at all. They were going about 50 to 0 in about, well, however long that takes, a couple of seconds. I went into the back of their car hard as fuck, right? And I took my shoulder that side. I instinctively turned that way, and my shoulder just got belted by the back of their car. It was a people carrier. And my neck, went bang to the right, okay? I then laid on the floor, going, fucking hell. They got out of the car, get this, yeah? This is what the Japanese are like. This is what East Asians are like. They tried to drag me off the road, right? Physically drag me off the road, yeah? Just claiming it was dangerous where I was. Fucking dickheads. I started screaming at them, right? Get the fuck off me. And then a load of people came round and no one did anything to help me. They just stood there staring at me, right? They're cold over here, mate. When something happens to you, when something fucking hard happens to you, they don't know what to do. They just stare at you like a bit of meat. Eventually the police turned up, ambulance turned up, right? They took me to hospital. Guys in the ambulance were pretty cool, right? And then, yeah, Pastor, well, thank God for that. Took me to hospital, and they gave me an X-ray in the hospital. And by the time I got to hospital, I felt I could move my shoulder. Right? So it was like I felt sort of dazed, but I didn't feel any pain. So I said, like, I don't feel any pain, but can you X-ray it and like just have a look? And they X-rayed it and had a look, and they showed me the X-ray and they talked through it. And the hospital staff were all right. And they said, look, we don't think you've done anything major here, right? And the fact that you can, move it left and right says that you haven't ruptured your spine, right? So that was okay. And then I laid there for a bit, and my fucking shoulder was hurting, but like it was just sort of, they reckon it was like just tissue damage. So I agreed with that. So I went home, right? No apology from the driver. Nothing happened because I went into the back of the driver, right? Legally, they could have prosecuted me. It's just fucked up, right? So anyway, got home. Had a couple of days off my bike, started riding again, felt a bit sore in my shoulder. This was like a year ago. And then it got better. I felt all right. And then I just did that hardcore year last year, right? So felt all right. Then like towards sort of January, February time, I started getting neck aches and fucking headaches, right? Started forgetting shit. I started getting numb fingers. So I thought, all right, fucking what's this? Googling it. Have I got diabetes? Have I about to have a stroke? All that kind of fucking shit. It got worse and worse and worse. Fast forward, I'm in fucking hospital in the ER, emergency room. My left leg is just numb, right? Down to my foot. This hand, I couldn't feel it, right? Side of my face, all round here, was just numb. All my lips were fucking buzzing and tingling. It was absolutely fucked, right? So they took me into the emergency room and said, look, we fucking need to check you out, right? MRI scan, all right? And they found that between the C3 and the C4 disc, the C3 disc had, because they did a really close X-ray of it, they saw that the C3 disc had signs of an old break in it. So it turns out that actually I did fucking break my neck last year in May, right? And then because I'm fucking hardcore, I did the entire year after breaking my neck and not realising it. So whenever it turns out, right, whenever you do something major to your body like that, your body goes into sort of recovery mode. And then all the muscles and all the ligaments and all the structure around your neck contracts and tries to sort of protect the area that's been damaged, all right? Okay, which was the C3 and C4 disc, C3 and C4 vertebrae, and also the disc had been sort of it hadn't herniated, it hadn't like split open, but it had sort of moved a bit, right? Well, they didn't do an MRI, held a Maya. They didn't do an MRI when I had the accident. They just did an X-ray, and then the fact that I could move around and I was sort of all right, they didn't see the need for it. And actually, to be fair, I didn't see the need for it either when I'd had that crash, because I just wanted to get back on the road. Anyway, yeah, so turns out that I actually had broken my neck, this one here, the C3, and then this C3, C4 disc had become moved a bit, right? And it's still like protruding a tiny bit, all right? And then this C4 vertebrae, it was slightly out of alignment, right? So all my neck muscles had started to contract up, right, to try and protect this, because apparently, right, your body is always trying to achieve symmetry all the time, unless it has some sort of issue, and then it goes into sort of protection mode, right? I mean, I'm sure someone knows more about it than me, but that's what I've worked out, right? And that's what I've read and all that kind of shit on the internet. So my neck muscles started to just lock up, basically, and then that because anyone who's injured themselves, if you injure your foot, it can make your fucking lower back hurt, can't it? And like, if you injure your hand, it can make your elbow hurt. Like, your whole body's like a connected kinetic system that works with itself, right? So if you majorly fuck something and like the muscles go into sort of, I think it's called spasm, if they go into spasm or like they all lock up, then that can cause a chain reaction all the way down your back, right? So I've started to get this really sort of tight kind of graunchy feeling in the middle of my back on the right side, and I always used to try and like twist my back, like, you know, like sort of put my elbow on my knee and sort of rotate around, and that felt better for a couple of seconds, but it never sort of got rid of it. So then I started investigating this a bit more. That's how I felt. That's how I felt last year, at the start of the year. And then I found out that all this kind of shit had gone wrong with my neck. I'd actually broken it. So that all started to make sense. I spoke to the hospital and said, like, what can I do about this? And then, like, the first hospital I went to was the emergency room. They were pretty good, but they didn't have like a spine specialist yet. So they had to refer me to a decent spine specialist, and they did that. They wrote me they made this big fucking long referral letter, and they gave me all the scans on a CD-ROM, yeah, you know, instead of emailing it or whatever. But they gave that to me and then sent me to this spine specialist, right? So I went to this spine specialist, and I was shit myself, right? Because I was reading, like, if you've damaged your spine, you might have to have these two spine vertebrae like bolted together with titanium and like the fucking disc removed and all that kind of shit. I was like, fucking hell, right? So I went to the spine specialist, and he looked at me, right? He was this old guy, yeah, not too old, but he was probably like late mid-60s, right? And he was all right. He spoke pretty good. He spoke English a bit, but he seemed like a bit like he'd seen it all before, right? So at first that slightly annoyed me, but then when I figured out he actually sort of did know what he was talking about, the first thing he did was like, you know, standard reflex tests and all that. And I was like, mate, look, can you just like get into the technical data? Can you get into the details? But then when I came home from seeing him, I did do a bit of research, and apparently that is sort of the right thing to do. So I was a bit of a prick there to, you know, get a bit annoyed with him, but fucking it was pretty stressful. So then what happened? He looked me over, right? He looked me over, and he said, right, your disc is pressing into your spine a little bit, right? But it's not major, but it is touching some of the nerves, which is why you're getting this numbness, right? But he said to me, like, the numbness isn't just to do with the nerves being pressed on by the spine being in the wrong position. Like, it's also to do with this chain reaction of muscles that's kicked in for like the last year, right? Yeah, fuck, it's a bit quiet now. This is the least you've typed. I thought something was wrong with the chat, but so like he said, like, it's partially this disc pressing onto the nerve system, but it's not so bad that we need to do an operation, right? I was pretty pleased about that. I felt like getting a second opinion, of course, because you don't believe just the first person who says, you know, whatever. But I sort of felt a bit better when he said that. And then, like, my hands, like, they are a lot better now, but like about a week ago they were like properly fucking Jack, man. I think he knows, mate. It's all right. But my hands were like fucking really numb, especially my left one. Right, this ring finger, I could have like fucking bitten it off, and it wouldn't have felt it. And I was thinking, shit, man, like if that stays numb for too long, it's going to cause permanent nerve damage because the nerves need to be like fed with, I don't know, whatever it is, nerve juice that comes out your brain. But then, like when I was in the doctor's office, he grabbed my shoulders, right, and he squeezed them like fucking hard, like properly, like that's what you doing, mate. Like, you know, I thought he was attacking me, and then he gripped it really hard. And when he was gripping it, when he was digging his fucking thumb right in, my right hand started like waking up a little bit. Not it wasn't perfect, but it started like kind of. I was like, oh, fucking hell, I can feel like my fingertips a little bit again. And he was saying, right, well, the spine's causing this issue a bit, but it's also the locked up muscle system you've got here. So that was sort of a relief because with muscles you can work it out, right? When your spine's gone, you're fucking gone, innit? All right, David, man, we're just talking about my woes. I'm just moaning at you all. I'm just being like an old lady at a bus stop. Yeah. So he gave me, what did he do? He gave me a load of painkillers, right? And sent me on my way and said, right, do all these exercises. And I was trying these exercises, right? And they were all a bit fucking namby-pamby. They were like, I think like the kind of people that he gets in his spinal clinic are people who are like quite old. Because like generally people who have something go wrong with their spine, the majority of people, it's through degeneration of the discs over years and years and years. So basically when you're very old, right? Probably people who damage their spine who are in my age bracket is relatively low, right? Compared to like, you know, the amount of old people who fuck their spines up. So, like the what they call it, the exercises he gave me were like quite conservative, right? Yeah, Pastor, yeah, sub 2K. I was like, mate, do you even what, mate? Do you even know what a watt is? Yeah. Then no, so I tried them out for a bit, and it was like the kind of stuff it was like sitting on a chair and like pushing your chin in and letting it go, and pushing your chin and letting it go. I like, look, man, my muscles need more than that, right? I need to like properly go in on them. So I started checking out YouTube videos of physiotherapists. Now that is a fucking going into the physiotherapist of the murky world of physiotherapy on YouTube it's just Pandora's box. Like 99% of it's bullshit, crap. But there's a couple of good guys in there I found, right? And, you know, you have to sort of cut the wheat from the chaff. But there's this guy called Jeff Cavalier, right, of Athlean X. Now, if any of you have any physio problems, any sort of problems with your body, go and have a look at that guy, because he will have made a video about how to fix it. And his job is, what does he do? He's a proper physical therapist and coach for very big name professional athletes in America. And he's himself ripped as fuck. So, yeah, he's a good guy. So I looked at a load of his videos. And then I started doing some of the exercises that he recommended, which were like far more hardcore, like, you know, doing things like finding out like where the trigger point is, digging your finger underneath the muscle, like which is blocking it, and then fucking ragging into it and holding it there for like 30 seconds while you're basically crying, and then letting it go, and then like bending your head over and stretching. And like after a while, it's on the other side. It's not all crap register, but yeah. Jeff Cavalier of Athlean X, he's all right, man. He's all right. He's good, man. So some of the stuff he was saying actually really helped me out. So like the first problem I had was like trying to like loosen, get my neck to release. Yeah. So actually, it's on the other side. It's on that side, on my other side of my fuckboy head. But yeah. So it's still a bit tight here. But previously, I'll show on this side. Like the pain was going from here, right, and all the nerves around here were just like properly burning. Couldn't sleep. It was going all the way down here, and then on this disc area was just fucking agony, all the way down my neck and across my shoulder. But we're doing all those pressure point stuff has like reduced the pain area down to like a little point now. And I reckon if I just keep going on it like that, that's going to loosen it off. And I went out on my bike today, and I could actually put a bit of power through it, so that was all right. Lower back, I mean, it's still fucked up. My left leg, which was completely numb, now doesn't go numb anymore. It's just my toes on my left foot. but I reckon I can work that out as well. Like, it's slowly getting better. The actual long-term outlook of the disc is anyone's guess, really. I mean, I'm 38, and apparently, like the doctor in the spine specialist said, like, even for people that haven't had an accident or have no symptoms, if you did an MRI of everyone in the world, there'd be so many fucking disc issues that all right, Hambini, so many disc issues that nobody realised they had. So fucking whatever. You play the room you've been dealt, don't you? But yeah, go and have a look at Athlean X if you do have any issues. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to fix you all. Everything he says is right, but he does know what he's talking about. It seems, yeah. So that was that. My hands are, I'd say 90% back to normal. Like when I sleep. Oh yeah, another thing, right? I talk about the sleeping problem, but about 90%. Previously, I couldn't feel a fucking thing, but they're about 90% now, so that's all right. Right? Means I can still troll. I can still troll on the internet like that until 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So I'm slowly working through all the issues. I don't think this is the most catastrophic injury I've had. I've broken bones before and stuff, but it's definitely the most concerning and the most kind of debilitating, and it's the fucking longest thing I've had to deal with, and it's been long, and it's been yeah, I can still type descriptions, mate. Yeah, just I'll get one of those little sticks on my head and just like tap like that. Probably come out with higher quality stuff, but it's been the longest. Like the thing that was really fucking me off, right, was like no matter what I was doing, nothing would improve, right, which was really worrying because like when I was 25, if I stretched my body a bit, all my problems were gone. But like it took ages and ages before I even felt any little bit getting better, anything slightly improving. It was just fucked, man. I really wouldn't wish this on anyone. It's absolutely awful. But I am getting better slowly. And I'm going to California in August still. Fuck that. I'll go in a wheelchair if I need to. But I think I'll be all right for them. I'm probably not going to be as good as I wanted to be in terms of fitness and power and all that kind of shit when I get there. But I'll still better fucking thrash most people, I reckon. That's the main thing. Yeah. Hambini, it's been very hard mentally. It's been very hard mentally because I live alone, right? I have had a few people helping me. One person in particular has been excellent, but it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard. When it was at its worst, when it was at its absolute worst, I couldn't stand up. I couldn't stand up for more than a couple of minutes without just fucking feeling I'm going to fall over. Leg going numb. I felt and I living by myself. All right, Chris Hansen, how much riding am I doing? Well, fuck it at the moment. Fuck all. I was doing about 400 a week. But no, that dropped off. That dropped off 3 weeks ago, right? Yeah, but I am slowly getting better. And yeah, fuck it, man. Fuck it. All I want to do, right, is go to California, have a laugh there. If I can go on like 1 or 2 bike rides, be all right. Yeah, I'll be all right. Fuck it. I'll just take loads and loads of drugs. Yeah, so that's been going on. But like I say, I am getting better. And what I wanted to say is that I've had loads of messages and stuff from you lot. Some of you telling me to stop being a fucking pussy, which is a fair point. But most of you have been pretty nice and decent and supportive in that, so I really appreciate that. Like I say, like I do live by myself and that, so like it does get on top a little bit when you fucking can't like limp to the toilet, you know what I mean? Fucking hell. But yeah, steroids for recovery. Yeah, stem cell research, mate. Fucking get that on the go. Someone needs to hurry up and get that sorted out, don't they? The other thing was, yeah, sleeping, right? I was waking up when it was at its worst. And it's always the worst in the morning when you wake up. Like it's agony when you wake up, and it takes like 3 or 4 hours just before you can start to fucking feel any good. I decided to film myself when I was asleep because I thought like I might have been sleeping in the wrong position, right? You know, because like you can injure yourself by sleeping in the wrong position. Like if you sleep on your front all the time, apparently that canes your neck. So I decided to video myself. So I set my iPhone up and plugged it in the wall. So it had power and just like set it going and went to sleep. Woke up 7 hours later and looked at it. Fucking hell, what a shock. What a shock. Now that I've loosened my neck off, it's not happening so much because I film myself again. But when I first filmed myself, right, my neck was going into spasm when I was asleep, right? So I filmed myself quite close to my torso, my upper area, because that's like where all the main problems were. When I was sleeping, my hands would like raise up like that. So like the elbow angle was really tight. So that was compressing all the nerves around there and all the veins. So that's why my hands were going numb when I was asleep. For some reason I was doing that. I don't know, I think my body was just trying to protect itself. And then my neck was just doing this, like twitch, like compressing. All right, Ollie. Like the muscle was just like going bang, bang, bang. And like my head was like kind of jutting into the pillow like this for like 20 minutes, like really kind of like aggressively. I had no control over it because I was just asleep and it was like a motor reaction. So I'm thinking, fuck man, it's like the whole muscle system was just in spasm. Yeah, so that was all right. Well, it wasn't all right, but it was good to see what I was doing. So then I went on Amazon, right, and I bought this expensive like ergonomically designed neck pillow thing, and that helped a bit. And then I started like consciously laying just on my back. So I always used to sleep on my side, right? But I was just laying on my back and that helped a bit. And then since I've been doing this like deep trigger point, like release on my neck, that spasming is a bit better now. But yeah, if any of you want a shock, right, film yourself sleeping and just see all the mad shit you get up to. Talking as well. I was talking some proper, I don't even know what I was saying. I don't know what language it was. Yeah, that was it. The other thing, my hip, because it was my neck was the main issue, then it went down to my back. My hip got pulled out, right? So if you can see here, this psoas muscle, which supports your hip and then goes up to your lower back. This was causing a bit of the back issues, and also you may have remembered my foot was going up and down a bit weird on my pedal. That was the precursor to all these issues, to all this sickness and this disease happening, and like me getting really fucked up. So the issue with my foot going up and down was actually one side of my psoas major here, this giant muscle had been spasming and was locked in. So my pelvis was tilted like that because of this whole chain reaction down my back. I think I've whacked my mic. That's the daily mic whack. This is a picture of my neck muscle. This is the main neck muscle that was fucked up. It's called the levator scapulae, which just it holds your head in position, right? So this is the reason this one went into spasm is because and locked up is because it's the one that holds where your position is rather than like being a sort of structural one, if that makes sense. It holds where you are. David, that's a very good question. Does it hurt to walk around? No, in fact, it hurts more if I stay in one position for a very, very long time. So, like for example, if I stand there, if I stand up for a while, my back starts hurting, or if I sit down talking to you for 3 hours, I'll be in fucking agony. But if I walk around, that generally sort of that gets my muscle system working, and it generally feels a bit better. But if I'm walking for too long, then my back gets tired and I have to stop. So if I keep changing activities regularly, that's the best. Which is why I think sleeping fucks me up so much, because you just lay down, aren't you, for 17 hours after a binge. We've all been there. Yeah. So that's that really. That's what's been going on. I've got some shoes news. I'm selling those S-Works 6, and I'm disappointed that none of you have bought them yet. If anyone buys those S-Works 6 off me, right, I'll throw in a brand new in their packet pair of Rafa leg warmers. All right, the same ones that I sent to Chris Hansen that were perhaps not so brand new. I'll throw in a brand new one. All right, with those shoes, if anyone buys them from me, you'd also get the proper body geometry insole for them as well, which is an extra item. Just let me know if you want them. I'm I'm actually trying to buy them, trying to sell them. Pasty, you're 42. What size are your feet in centimetres? Because the sizing on these Specialized is wacky, which is why they're too small for me. So, Rocky I could do, but I'd be knackered. I'm not very good at waking up. I'm a right fucking baby. Oh, you want to race them? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Chris Hansen won a race in the Rafa leggings I sent him. Good boy. Good boy. David, they'll definitely be too small for you. They'll definitely be too small for you. Thing is though, right? My Specialized S-Works 5, which fit me like a glove, but they're just fucking knackered now, were a 43 euro size, right? These S-Works 6 are a 43.5, but they're too small. So they're half size bigger on paper, but they're smaller. So what I'm trying to say is, Pasty, if you tell me how many centimetres your foot is exactly to the millimetre, like 27.5 or something, there's a chance that they actually might be the right size for you. I can compare based on my foot. No, you haven't seen anyone walk with any dignity, but yeah. In the same way, I've never seen anyone ride a bike with any dignity whilst wearing high heels. I know what you're saying, that. It is pretty funny watching everyone sort of clip-clop around, isn't it? Clip-clop around. Yeah. It's like ski bindings, aren't they? Yeah. Fucking work, though. They work. You can ride a lot better. Has anyone noticed that no one talks about mid... Yeah, I do have a look past him. I'm not trying to fucking rip you off or do a hard sell. I'm genuinely, they might be alright. Just let me know how many centimetres your feet are, and they might be right. But just let me know, man. If they're not, I'll just say they're not right. I'm not gonna try and fucking rip you off or anything. Yeah. Yeah, was. Yeah. Pastor, you're telling me you're not into some sort of weird foot fetish. I think you might be. Yeah. All right, eat plants. Yeah, I'm getting a bit better, mate. Getting a bit better. What's the consensus riding MTB pedals in road bikes in the cold? Do what you want, mate. Do what you want. I don't care. That's all right. That's all right. MTB pedals, they fucking shift around a bit though, don't they? They don't hold your foot in a flat position. No, Ollie, the Rafa ride thing's in September. The Rafa ride thing's in September. I'm going to go to California first in August, then come back and do that Rafa ride in September if I'm well enough. If my body's not fucking snapped in half again. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, well, I've tried all sorts of things, mate. Yeah, there are some things that do actually improve it. It's getting better slowly. Yeah, Ollie, mate, you can come over, mate. Come over. I'll find you some place to stay, and we can go and fucking go mental. Yeah, sassy, man. Just ride them into the ground. As long as you don't replace the bearings with ceramic bearings, be alright, wouldn't it? Hambini, if you're listening, mate, I haven't watched your aerodynamic video yet. I will do. I was looking forward to that, but I've been just fucking wrecked, mate. I've been doing like 2 hours of self-physio every day and then trying to earn a fucking pound note as well. Because the amount of money I spent in hospitals, I'm insane. Like thousands of dollars. So, yeah. I'm sure someone will still complain that I'm not making enough videos. Yeah. Next, what I was going to talk about? Giro d'Italia. I liked that Tom Dumoulin had a shit. He had a shit whilst riding his bike. That was good. He done a shit and then won the Giro d'Italia. That was good. Yeah, all Hambini videos are good to watch. He's the boy. He's persona very welcome on this channel. Yeah. Tom Dumoulin doing a shit was good. I've done a shit. I've had a shit like he had, and I think there might be something to it because when I got diarrhea when I was going up a fucking mad mountain, I had to stop and have a shit. Right? Let me tell you all about the shit I had. It was fucking mad. Right? Improve watts per kilo. Yeah, Pasty, good point, mate. Yeah. A Patreon. What would be All right, let me tell you about my shit first, then we'll talk about Patreon. All right. Yeah. So I got the shits, right, really fucking bad, and it was, when was it? It was hot. It was like September last year, and I was by myself going up this long fucking climb, and half of it, the bottom half, was in this like fully enclosed, like the trees were going all over the top of the path, right? And then so I was going up, and I knew there was a toilet like about 5k up, right? But it was just all, it was climbing, so it was like a good sort of 20 minutes to the toilet. And I'm going there, I'm thinking, I'll be all right. And every so often it was like, oh, like properly griping. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you fucking, you know when you got the shit, so like properly griping. And then I carried on climbing, and I was thinking, oh god, I knew I could stop for shit. There's no one around, right? But I was a bit worried about like being attacked by fucking wild animals, because it was properly in the middle of nowhere. So I thought, fuck, I've got to have a shit. So I stopped, chucked my bike down, ran across to this tree, right? I don't know why I was going to hide behind a tree. There was no one there. Just and then took off my fucking Rafa gear, like a ponce, nicely hung that up on a branch, and then I was just holding onto this branch, holding round the fucking tree, leaning back like that, just going mental, right? Absolutely fucking mental. Just properly just felt like I had like some sort of dysentery, or I'd caught something terrible. And then, well, that's the thing. I started hearing, I don't know if it was my paranoia, right? But I started hearing fucking rustlings around in the forest, right? That I hadn't been hearing when I've been riding my bike. I was thinking, fuck, man. But like the shit just kept coming. It kept coming. It was in waves, and I could pull it up again. I thought I'd pull my shorts up now, and I had to wash my ass by getting a water bottle, just like squirting water up my ass, because I don't carry a toilet roll, do I, around my handlebars? Maybe I should. But yeah, every time I thought I was done, I'd sort of stand up, and then like, as you stand up, that kind of elongates your lower intestine. I was like, oh, fuck, I'll go again. So it was like, it started off as like half normal, then it was just like fizzy gravy at the end. Fucked. It was like oxtail soup that had been filled with Tabasco HIV. Fucking awful. And I was just slipping further and further down this tree. My head was going back, my eyes were fucking rolling in my head. And I'm thinking, I mean, if I go now, I sort of deserve it. But yeah, I kept on hearing these things like rustling around, and like I've seen monkeys I've seen monkeys up here, and they fucking move so quick. Like when you see a monkey on TV, you think, oh, they sort of move slowly, but when they're in the forest, like they just bam, they're like flying through the trees. So I was thinking, like, if they yeah, cheers, eat plants, mate. Yeah, this is for you. This is for all the lunchtime crew drinking their chocolate milkshake. Yeah. Yeah. So I was just shitting myself to death and risking being eaten by a shit sniffing bear in Japan. I was just wondering what the news headline would be if I got done whilst I had diarrhea in the mountains. But then when I finished, I felt fucking elated, and then went up the climb. Despite stopping halfway up for a shit, I calmed it. There was only about, I don't know, 25 people who'd ridden it before, but I fucking won that. Yeah. But riding through the mountains here, when it's like deep in the mountains, when you're by yourself and you start hearing shit, that's the fucking way you get comms. Fear of death. Yeah. Shit in the middle of the road. Yeah. I don't know, man. That just felt wrong. I mean, compared to what I've just been doing, yeah, slightly less wrong. Yeah, it was all right. It was good. But then, yeah, it's like I say, I went on and smashed a load of comms out. So I might start doing more shits out in the wild. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, hey, where you are, right? What was going to talk about? Oh, Patreon. Right. What is that? What is it? What is it? What's Patreon? I know, I sort of know what it is, but like, how does it work? What do you do? Do you you make an account and just ask people for money? Like, why would they give you money? What do they get out of it? I mean, what's the point? For tips? It's like a scheduled donation, but I mean, why? for extra content, provide perks, secret. I suppose I could do that. What would I? All right. Well, all right. Help me. Yeah. Shit videos. Yeah. How kind of like Kickstarter, you give them special. All right. Well, what sort of stuff could I do then? What sort of stuff could I get people to give me money for? Like extra stuff. What could I do? I mean, I just put my ideas on my main channel. Tips on shitting in the forest. Oh, that could be a good one. Yeah. How much do you think tips for shitting in a forest is worth? Pumpkin, mate. My sleep videos would be like fucking banned, like a Serbian film, causing nightmares. Merchandising. Yeah, well, I tell you what, I've got a bit of merchandising news for you lot. I was gonna keep that till the end. Yeah. Rate your gear. Yeah. Rape your gear. A gear raping service. One-on-one training. Well, speaking of one-on-one training, right? I had some guy message me yesterday, asking me to be his Narcotics Anonymous sponsor, which I agreed to. So I'm now somebody's Narcotics Anonymous sponsor. So I'm looking forward to phone calls from him in the middle of the night. It is to do with the TDI jersey, Chris Hansen, but it's not in production yet. No, but it's getting there. It's getting there, mate. Philip, yeah, I miss my new training partner. I wonder what he's up to. I've got a power pod. No, one of my mates here, this guy I know here, he's got a power pod. I've seen it. I've seen him riding it. Although he did, I was looking at one of his rides the other day. It did say that he did a 515 watt average going up this climb, and he didn't. So I'm not sure how accurate it is. But I suppose if it gives you a general sort of idea, if it always says you're in that sort of level, then you know, whatever. Yeah. I think hey Sasu, I think the person in the Strava group, that is my mate. Is his name Nick? If his name is Nick, that's the guy I know who's got one. I've seen it on his bike. It's all right. It just sits on the handlebars. It looks like a light. Yeah. I can't see it being as good as an actual deflection based one, but you know, it seems all right. Yeah. All right, I've got about 10 minutes. Before I have to go and jag things into my neck like fucking someone on Robocop 2 doing nuke. Yeah. Don't get stages, they're fucking wank. If you want a crank-based one, get a Pioneer. They're good. Right. Get a Pioneer. They're a little bit more money than the stages, but you get what you pay for. We've been through this, haven't we? Me telling everyone the stages are shit. Yeah. All right. Merchandise. I've been spending a fair bit of time just sort of not riding my bike. Yes, Justin, I think you might do. Pasty, how much are the Pioneer ones? Well, they do a variety of different ones, right? There's a load of different ways to do it. What you can do is, if you have an existing 4II, it's supposed to be all right, but I think it goes in terms of my approval rating. Power 2 Max is the absolute best, all right? Then Pioneer. But Power 2 Max is if you've got a fancy non-Shimano crank, okay? If you've got a Shimano crank, get a Pioneer, all right? And then everything else, Quark is all right, but you get loads of reports about them fucking up. But yeah, I think 4II is underneath that. Team Cycling Bear, have you got a Pioneer? Have you? No, I think Stages is the shittest. Yeah. Team Cycling Bear, have you got a Pioneer, mate? Or have you got a 4II? Which one have you got, mate? Because someone I know has got a Pioneer and they've had a good time with it. Yes, Pioneer, yeah, Pioneer's fucking good, mate. They're fucking good. Get the left-sided one first, and then if you want to upgrade to dual-sided, you can, but you'll just get the left-sided one, and you'll just stay with that. Because no cunt needs two left and right, unless you're a pro, and even they don't need it. Yeah, Pioneer really good. I think you either can just give them. It's not a huge amount of money. It's not a huge amount of money. It's a bit more expensive than a Stages, but it's a bit better than a Stages. So there you go. Am I going to fucking get my point out? I think you give them your left side Shimano crank, and they stick one on there for you, and then that's the cheapest way to do it. Or you can buy for an extra $100 or an extra some amount of money. You can buy the crank and the left-handed thing from them. So the cheapest way is just to give them your crank and they put it on there. It takes about a week, I think, or 2 weeks, a week. And then you can buy one of their left-handed solutions from them, or you can give them your complete crank set and they put a left and right on there, or you can buy a complete left and right from them, which is the most expensive way. Just get them to stick one on your Shimano crank. That's the easiest way. It means you don't end up with a spare crank either as well. Well, Quark's heavy. I think probably the Power 2 Max is probably heavier. The Power 2 Max is about 189, 200 grams. But it's 200 grams of excellence that has never gone wrong. Perfect system. Really, I'm happy to take that weight. It's never gone wrong ever. I've sort of, I don't even understand the concept of a power meter going wrong. It's never gone wrong. Nothing's happened to it ever. Like I said, I've just forgotten it's on my bike. I just ride and there's the number on the screen. It's fucking brilliant. Yeah, amazing. I could definitely take a 200 gram shit, mate. I'd take a 200 gram piss. In fact, isn't piss heavier than shit? Power tap rear hub. Nah, mate, don't bother, because power tap bearings are wank. Hubs should be exotic and light. Get it in your cranks, mate. Get it in your cranks. General review of what? Of the Power 2 Max or the Stages? Seems like people are really interested in power meters, aren't they? I think there's going to come a day in the very near future when everyone's got a power meter and you get them on Halford's bikes. Yeah. Although I've done a few fucking wizards staffs that have chased me out the toilet before, that have definitely not floated in water, which would probably weigh, we're talking kilograms. Yeah, that was when I was getting clean off from being a junkie. Yeah, they are getting cheaper. Well, it's like anything in it. Like the first one's expensive, and then they just get cheaper as the means of production gets tuned in, economies of scale and all that. Yes, it does. It depends what you eat as well. Yeah, if you eat a lot of black pudding. Yeah. Sasu, yeah. Hey, Sasu, how old are you, mate? Please don't be like 15 or something like that. I've had enough of grooming Chris Hansen. Sasu, are you 17? Are you really? Are you honestly 17? Please tell me you're not 17. I felt bad enough bloody sending a present on the internet to Chris Hansen, and he turned out to be fucking a child as well. Not fucking a child. He turned out to be a child as well. But yeah, is that bad? It's not bad. No, it's not bad. It's fantastic to be 17. But I'm 38 years old. And the last 17-year-old I didn't realise they were 17. I sent him a present on the internet. Sent him a present in the post. Yeah, that was you, wasn't it, Chris Hansen? 7's off. He's had enough of this. He's had enough. It's got too dark even for him. Yeah, we've taken it to Jimmy fucking Savile levels. Yeah. I got groomed by a 17-year-old. That's what happened. I got groomed by Chris Hansen, and he tricked me into sending him a present. Yeah, that's what happened, innit? That's what happened. But it's 17. But my point being, Sassy, that if like you're 17, right? So that you can wait a couple of years and get a power meter. That's cool. If you were edging towards the end of your ability to be an absolute fucking shredder, I would have said, fucking don't worry about the price, just buy one, right? And then just suck it up, yeah? Because if you're in your mid-30s, you've only got about 10 years of being hardcore left. So you might as well just get it now, right? Don't worry about the price. Get it now and start utilising it right away. And then use that to really have a good time at the end of your, your ability to be fucking hardcore. Because when you get a power meter, it takes you to the next level. And your desire to go harder just fucking massively increases. But yeah, if you're 17, mate, that's cool, man. You got a couple of years before you even get anywhere near starting to reach your potential. So even if you wait till you're about sort of, I don't know, early 20s, that could be cool. But yeah, I reckon 3 years we'll start to see, like you said, you're running out of time, Ollie, mate. Get a power meter. Get a power meter before what's the point of having a power meter when you're 55? You're not going to be able to fucking get the most out of it, are you? Get it while your body's strong. Yeah. You use it while you can recoup the cost of the money when you're older. Yeah. You know what I'm saying there, Sassy, right? You can wait for a bit. Telemarketing. I've worked in a call centre before. Sasso, I've worked in a call centre before, mate. 17. You're allowed to be a telemarketer at 17. Can you do that? Do you know what I'd do if I was 17? Do you know what job I'd do if I was 17? Right? Should I tell you my not advice? The 15. Oh, fucking hell. Sassy, where do you live, mate? I mean, you can be a child soldier in the Sierra Leone at 5, can't you? Where do you live? Chris Anson, that is true. That is true. But I think my point was that if Sasu can't afford one, it's not such a big deal. I think that's what I was trying to say. No, Instagram model. Oh, I am a fucking Instagram model, mate. Look at this, yeah. I get up to one message every 2 months from a woman on Instagram. Yeah, that should tell you all you need to know. No, what I would do is I'd get on the Darknet and I'd start buying MDMA for 20 quid a gram, which is fucking cheap. Yep. Then I'd press it into pills and bang them out at 17. Because if you get nicked, you'd be alright. I might not upload this video, or I might cut that bit out I've just said. But that's what I'd do. That's what I'd do if I was 17. If I was over the age of 18, I wouldn't bother, because you're getting fucking bother. Yeah. If you're under 18, you can just say, I didn't know what it was. Yeah. Good tips. Yeah. You steal weed. Fucking, yeah. Drugs are mental, mate. The whole world fucking loves drugs. The whole world. Check this out, right? I'm getting fucking sweaty, man. It's getting on. I was a good life coaching, yeah. Yeah. You're not gonna make any money singing and playing a guitar, mate. You'd be a drug dealer, you make fuckloads, right? I was on my bike today, right? And I stopped outside now just let me finish before I say this, right? I stopped outside a school, yeah, because there was a drinks machine just outside the school, right? And there were loads of school kids, must be like 16, 17, like you, Chris Anson, and like you, Sasser, your lot, your mob. And they're all getting their drinks from the drinks machine, like, Coke and all that kind of stuff. And the drinks machine had like a variety of different drinks. On the top they had like water, yeah. And then underneath that they had like orange juices and all that. Then underneath that they had all the energy drinks. And at the end of the row of the energy drink was this Monster Energy and Red Bull, right? Fucking all the Monster Energy, all the Red Bull was sold out, yeah. Which tells you what you need to know, innit? Kids figure it out. They figure out where they figure out where the drugs are straight away, don't they? And they just buy it up and fucking chug it in school. Humans just want to get high, don't they? They want to take drugs. I think it's natural. Yeah. So all these kids, and I said to one of them, like, you lot buy all the Red Bull, do you? He goes, yeah, we drink it at lunchtime and fucking run around. I'm like, oh yeah, that's just drugs, isn't it? That's just kids drinking a lot of drugs. Yeah. It's incredibly easy to make money out of drugs, but it's also highly risky. Yeah. Well, you know, in large amounts of every country's economy is based on drugs, isn't it? Cigarettes and alcohol. Yeah, that's where all the money comes from it. That's why they don't ban it. That's why I don't ban it. That's why I should. All right, I've been going for an hour now. I need to go and jag my finger deep into my neck and look out the window and sort of go, fucking hell, man. So I'm going to leave you to it. But I'll upload this bit. I might cut out the bit about dealing drugs, especially me telling a 17-year-old to start dealing drugs. Yeah. Big pharma income. Yeah, I know. Big pharma income is mental. I do a fair bit of trading of pharmaceutical companies, shorting drugs and longing drugs and all that kind of thing. Yeah, it's profitable, but big pharma is an excellent venture, I think, because it's life changing and it's life saving. You know. So there you go. All right, lads, I'm going to shoot now. I'm going to go and do some therapy on myself. I'll upload this later, probably, or I won't, and then you'll moan at me. But yeah, nice one. It's good to be back. Good to be back. Yeah, sassy. Yeah, exactly. Big pharma's not life-saving? What do you mean it's not life-saving, mate? Of course big pharma's life-saving. Who developed HIV medicine? People with HIV now live relatively normal lives. It's been downgraded as a disease, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cheers, lads. I appreciate it. I appreciate all your well wishes as well. That's really good. See you again soon. Yeah. Take it easy. Oh yeah. I'm making a kit. I'm making a jersey. It's going to be fucking rad. I'll sell you it all.